Welcome to 21st Sports recap and reaction for Game 6 of the ALCS between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Kansas City Royals, played October 23rd, 2015, and what a game this was. We're going to go over every at-bat and the stats and give our breakdown and analysis. And heading into this game, the Blue Jays were facing elimination down 3-2, and the Royals were looking to close out this series at home here in Game 6. And on the mound for Kansas City, Yordano Ventura. And on the mound for Toronto, David Price. Price not having won a game that he started in the postseason, only having one out of the bullpen. But to start this game off, Ben Revere would lead off with a double for the Jays, but then Ventura would retire the next three batters as he struck out Donaldson, got Bautista to fly out, and Encarnacion grounded out. So that did it for the top of the first. Then in the bottom of the first, Escobar would ground out, and then Ben Zobrist went deep to left, 373 feet with a solo shot to put the Royals on the board first as they led 1-0. And now Cain would ground out, and Hosmer would ground out, and that would do it for the first inning, but not after the Royals had put a run on the board. So now in the top of the second, Ventura would set down the side in order, as he had now retired 6 straight batters, as he got Colabello to fly out, Tulowitzki he grounded out, and Martin struck out. So now in the bottom of the second, Morales would fly out, and then Mike Moustakas went deep to right center, 409 feet, and it was 2-0 Kansas City. Perez and Gordon would then each strike out, and that would do it for the bottom of the second, but not after the Royals had added a run to extend their lead to 2. So now in the top of the third, Ventura would set down the side in order for the second straight inning, now retiring 9 batters in a row, as he got Pilar to line out, Goins struck out, and Revere struck out. So now to the bottom of the third, Price would get Rios to foul out, Escobar flied out, he would walk Zobrist, who had gone deep off him earlier in the game, and then Cain reached on an infield single, 2 on, 2 out for Hosmer, and he would ground out. So that would do it for the third. So on the top of the fourth, Donaldson would ground out. That would be the 10th Blue Jay retired in a row for Ventura. But then Jose Bautista went deep to left as he crushed it 431 feet. And it was now a 1-run game as the Royals put their first run on the board, now trailing the Royals 2-1. Encarnacion then grounded out. Colabello hit a single, but then Tulo struck out, and that would do it for the top of the fourth, but not before the Blue Jays could put a run on the board to cut the Royals' lead to 1. So now bottom of the fourth, David Price would set down the side in order as he struck out the side, striking out Morales, Moustakas, and Perez. So on the top of the fifth, Russell Martin would draw a walk. Pilar would draw a walk as well, so he had 2 on, no outs for Goins, and he would fly out, so would Revere, and Donaldson lined out. So 2 walks led up by Ventura, then he retires the next 3. So on to the bottom of the fifth, Price would strike out Gordon to start off the inning, then he led up a single to Rios. Escobar then struck out. Rios would steal second, and Zobrist would pop out, and that would do it for the bottom of the fifth. So now on the top of the sixth, Ventura would get Bautista to fly out. Then Encarnacion hit a double, so now runner in scoring position, the tying run on second in Encarnacion with 1 out for Colabello, and Ventura would be done for the night as Herrera would come in to relieve him. He would strike out Colabello, and then Tulo flied out, and so they left Encarnacion stranded on second, and that would do it for the top of the sixth. So now the bottom of the sixth, Price would set down the side in order as he got Cain to ground out. He struck out Hosmer, and Morales fouled out. So now to the 7th inning, Herrera still on the mound for the Royals, set down the side in order as he got Martin to fly out, Pilar flied out, and he struck out Goins. So now after the 7th inning stretch, in the bottom of the 7th, Price still out there for the Jays. He would let up a leadoff single by Moustakas. Perez then flied out, and now Gordon would ground out. Moustakas would be safe at second, and that would do it for Price as Sanchez came in to relieve him. Rios then stepped in the box, and Rios drove in Moustakas with an RBI single, and it was now 3-1 as the Royals extended their lead to 2. Orlando would come in to pinch run for Rios. And so then Escobar hit a single. Orlando safe at second, 2 outs, 2 on for Zobrist, and he would ground out, and that would do it for the 7th inning, but not after the Royals had added a run to their score to extend their lead to 2 with the score 3-1 heading to the top of the 8th. So now Madsen would come in to relieve Herrera, and he would end up letting up a infield single to Revere as he dug it out. Revere safe at first. Donaldson then at the plate would strike out, and now Jose Bautista would go deep for the second time in this game, going deep to left 386 feet. The 2-run shot tied this game at 3 apiece as he drove in Revere. So now Encarnacion would draw a walk, and then Wade Davis would come in to relieve Madsen. So Wade Davis in relief of Madsen. And at this point, he would get Colabello to pop out. Then Encarnacion would end up going to second on a wild pitch by Davis. And then he would strike out Tulowitzki. So Tulowitzki struck out, and that would do it for the top of the 8th. But not after the 2-run shot by Bautista tied this game up at 3 apiece. So now we would have a rain delay. And the rain delay would last for 40 minutes. So Bautista ties this game up. Then we end up with the rain delay. And so now, after 40 minutes of sitting around, no one left the park. It was still full as all the Kansas City loyal, they would stay around for the end of this exciting game that was tied up with the chance for the Royals to make a repeat appearance in the World Series and clinch this series. The Blue Jays looking to avoid elimination. And on the mound for the Jays, Roberto Osuna. And so now Cain would be the first batter of the inning. He would draw a walk. Now Cain on first, Hosmer at the plate. Hosmer hits a single to right field. Bautista's going over to field it. He goes to throw it to the cutoff man. Cain had took off with the pitch, digging it out, hustling around the bases, got waved in, and Cain slides for home. Tulo makes the relay throw, and Cain is safe at home, and the Royals go up by 1, 4-3. So the Royals up by a run, and now Morales would step into the box, and he would hit a single. That brought Hosmer to second, so no outs with 2 on, and now Gore would come in to pinch run for Morales. Moustakas in the box. He would fly out. And then Perez grounded into a double play. It was a close one. They nearly got out the inning, but not after the Royals had manufactured a run with some aggressive base running by Lorenzo Cain, who was actually dealing with some injuries with his legs, and he still dug it out, scored from first off that single, and he was actually bleeding from his knee in the dugout after scoring. So what a gutsy play, what a tough play, just digging it out, running through the pain to score, to put the go-ahead run on the board, and now we are headed to the top of the 9th as Wade Davis was now going to be on the line for the win, as he was the pitcher of record when they went ahead, and he would end up facing Russell Martin, who would hit a single to lead off the inning, and then Pompey would come in to pinch run for Martin. Pompey would steal second while Pilar was at the plate, and so first he steals second, and then Pompey steals third. So Pompey stealing second, then third, and the tying run was 90 feet away from home plate. Pilar would draw a walk, and so he had runners on the corners. Navarro would pinch hit for Goins, and he would strike out. But while he struck out, Pilar stole second on the strikeout pitch. And so now you had runners on second and third, 2 runners in scoring position, the tying run on third, the go-ahead potentially run on second with just 1 out. Ben Revere at the plate. And Ben Revere would work the count, but he struck out. And so now it was 2 outs with 2 on for Josh Donaldson, and Josh Donaldson led the team in home runs with 41 home runs in the regular season, and here he had 2 runners in scoring position with the chance to tie or even put the Blue Jays ahead with even a single or one of those home runs that he's so known to hit. But Josh Donaldson in the box would ground out, and the Royals are going to the World Series. Wade Davis gets the win. Kansas City is going back to the World Series. The Royals do it again. They pull it off with timely hitting, and they beat the Blue Jays in 6. So the Kansas City Royals, what an amazing game. What a crazy win. What a wild finish. And talk about your pitching performances on both sides. And also, what a performance by Bautista, as he was responsible for all 3 of the RBIs for the Blue Jays. And for the Royals, Zobrist with that home run in the first inning, then Moustakas with the home run in the second, Rios with that RBI single in the 7th, and then Hosmer bringing in Cain in the 8th as Lorenzo Cain digging it out, aggressive base path running. Is he's just amazing, to dig through that pain and even being injured to make it around the bases off of a ball that was hit to right field that Bautista made a relay throw to Tulo, but Cain comes in, scores the go-ahead run, and Kansas City back in the World Series. They will be facing the New York Mets. That'll be next Tuesday, as right now it's Friday night into Saturday morning as this game went past midnight. And for the Royals, said Wade Davis gets the win. Osuna gets the loss for the Blue Jays. Escobar, actually listen, the Royals, 7 of their 9 starters reached base in this game. Escobar, Zobrist, Cain, Hosmer, Morales, Moustakas, and Rios. And 4 of those guys had RBIs. Zobrist had an RBI, as well as Hosmer, Moustakas, and Rios. Of course, we had the 2 solo shots and then the 2 RBI singles. And in this game, Escobar 1 for 4. Zobrist 1 for 3 with the RBI. That was that home run. He also walked once. Cain 1 for 3 with a run scored. He also walked once as well. Hosmer 1 for 4 with the RBI single. Morales 1 for 4. Moustakas 2 for 4 with the RBI and 2 runs scored. As he scored, he hit that home run. He also came in the 7th off of the single by Rios. And speaking of Rios, he was 2 for 3 with that RBI single. And for the Blue Jays, Revere 2 for 5 with runs scored. Bautista 2 for 4, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. The 2 home runs, the solo shot, and the 2-run home run, as he hit a home run in the 4th and in the 8th innings, respectively. Encarnacion 1 for 3, Colabello 1 for 4, Martin 1 for 3. And for the pitchers, the starters, Ventura went 5 1/3 innings, allowing 1 earned run off of 4 hits, 2 walks. He struck out 5. Of course, he let up that solo shot to Bautista was the earned run. Herrera 1 2/3 innings of relief with 2 strikeouts, as he was excellent in relief. Madsen just 1/3 of an inning, allowing the 2 earned runs off that home run by Bautista. He also had a walk, 2 hits, 1 strikeout. And then Wade Davis, 1 2/3 innings pitched, picks up the win, allowing no earned runs off of 1 hit, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts by Wade Davis. And for the Blue Jays, David Price, 6 2/3 innings, allowing 3 earned runs off of 5 hits, 1 walk. He struck out 8. He did allow the 2 home runs early on to Zobrist and Moustakas. His Price was actually pitching pretty good. He just made a couple of mistakes early. And then, of course, in the 7th, he did let Moustakas on, so he was on the hook for him, even though he was not pitching when Rios hit that single to drive him in. That was Sanchez, who pitched 1/3 of an inning, no earned runs, 2 hits. And then Osuna, 1 inning, 1 earned run, 2 hits, as he was the one, the pitcher, when they ended up with the single by Hosmer that drove in Cain. It's Lorenzo Cain. I can't emphasize enough what a gutsy play that was. And of course, getting waved in by the coaching, the third base coach waves him in. Obviously a good call by the Kansas City Royals coaching staff to do that, as they read the play well. As Cain even said in the postseason interview, or the post-game interview, that he didn't really make a read. He just trusted his coach. His coach waved him in, so he just kept digging it, and he hustled that one out and came across home. And as you watch the play, you see, Bautista having to run down that ball, hit down the right field line, and he kind of hits the wall, and just as he's going to hit the wall, he spins to turn. He doesn't even look to see where Cain is. He's just automatically going to the cutoff man, Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki seeing that Cain's coming around, he makes the spin move, throws it to home. But Cain, being the fast runner as he is, and very impressive being that, like I said, he's not even 100%, and for him to make that trip from first to home, it's just amazing, especially against the arms of Bautista and then Tulowitzki, who made the relay throw. What an amazing, base running by Lorenzo Cain to score on that one. And that's how the Royals do it. They play small ball. They're all about the contact hitting. They did get a couple of jacks early on. They went deep. They can do that too. But they also can manufacture runs, as they had a couple of RBI singles. And then, of course, their bullpen coming up big once again. Although Madsen did let up the 2-run shot, but Herrera was excellent in relief. And, of course, Wade Davis. And Ventura pitched a pretty good game as well, although he only went into the 6th, but 5 1/3 innings. And Price, not really a bad outing for Price, but not good enough to beat the Royals. Of course, he does not get the loss in the game. But Kansas City going back to the World Series, an impressive performance here against the Blue Jays. A tough team, the Blue Jays. They have a powerful lineup, and the Royals pitching was able to shut them down and they keep them to just 3 runs in this game, and they kept them in check for the most part in this series. And they're moving on as they do it with excellent contact hitting and great pitching out of their bullpen, as well as from their starters. So let me know what you think in the comments section below. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for listening. It's greatly appreciated. I hope you're having a good day and have a great weekend and enjoy all the sports.